My name is Ifeoluwa Idowu, a doctoral student at the Department of Chemistry here at the University of Manitoba. I am working on unraveling toxic compounds that are present in crude oil. What comes to your mind when you hear of crude oil? For most persons here, we're reminded that the Canadian economy is largely driven by the oil and gas industry. During exploration and transportation, spill happened. The popular 2010 Deepwater Horizon spill released more than 2.5 million gallons of crude oil. That's about the volume of water in 311 Olympic-sized pools. But think about how these spills affect us and our environment. My research focuses on helping toxicologists to determine this. Toxicologists have revealed that exposure to crude oil can cause cancer and birth defects. But are all the components in crude oil toxic? Maybe not. During the Vietnam War, over 80% of people exposed to a herbicide, Agent Orange, suffered various illnesses due to a negligible amount of one compound in the herbicide. This compound, dioxane, can exist in 75 different ways depending on the attachment of chlorine atoms on the ring. But at these locations, they are the most toxic. They are reported to be, or it is reported to be responsible for the poisoning of former Ekene president back in 2004, where more than 50,000 times normal concentration was found in his bloodstream. But how was the toxicity of all the 75 dioxin determined? It was determined by first identifying and quantifying all the 75 compounds before subjecting them to toxicology study. So my research is aimed at identifying and quantifying compounds believed to be toxic in crude oil. These compounds are called polycyclic aromatic compounds, and they are made up of multiple fused rings. Just like the toxic compound in Agent Orange, they can exist in hundreds of forms depending on the location of substitution on the rings. Also, during quantification and identification, they exist as clusters, thus the need to declutter for individual identification and quantification. Previous chromatographic methods have not been able to achieve this separation due to low resolution of gas chromatograph used. A gas chromatograph is used to separate volatile chemical compounds. Now, think about chromatography as a race in which individual compound has its own characteristic time, which depend on its boiling temperature, and thus aid in separation and identification. By tweaking some parameters on my system with high resolution, I've been able to separate compound clusters by regulating the temperature at which this compound boils in the system. Think about the recent first place tie between the German and the Canadian bobsled team in the just concluded Winter Olympics. Both teams finished at the same time, calculated to the 100th of a second. Now you can agree with me that it is difficult to assign a position at such close margins, and that describes the uniqueness of my method. So with my method, I have been able to successfully separate closely bound compound clusters, especially the polycyclic aromatic compounds in crude oil. With this breakthrough, toxicologists will be able to identify previously unidentified life-threatening compounds that are present in crude oil, especially with regards to oil spill site. So when next you hear about an oil spill, don't think about one resource, crude oil. Think thousands of compounds capable of harming man in hundreds of ways. And think about this newfound capability to detect them and ultimately protect man and the environment. Thank you.